Hi, good evening. My name is Matt Simonson and I am going to do an impromptu speech. So my wife prepared me 3 questions and they're in this envelope, and it's sealed, and I'm going to open the envelope and do my best to improvise and answer these 3 questions. Okay, so the first question is, can you describe an event in your life that led you in a closer walk with Jesus? I would have to say there are many, but the one that comes to mind especially is when I was in high school and we were in a youth group. There are probably 3 reasons for this. One, I would say, is that I was going to church quite a bit because I was involved with the youth group pretty heavily. The second reason is it was shortly after my conversion. And the third reason, I would say, is because I was also leading a small group. The first reason, the beginning of high school is actually when I had my conversion, about 14 years of age. And then going into high school, I was involved with our church's youth group, Calvary Chapel in Placerville, California. And being involved with the youth group helped me quite a bit in my growth in my faith and belief in Jesus, because the pastor there was amazing. Actually, he was the one that helped me come to Christ just through preaching about Jesus in the youth group. And also I had a chance to read my Bible quite a bit, study the Bible quite a bit. I went to the Wednesday night studies. Every night they had those, which leads me to my second point, that I was involved with the youth group there, and that helped me to in my learning the subjects and teaching the other kids, made me mature quicker and have to really dive into the scripture and learn what I had to from scripture to teach the younger kids. And then just being there constantly and praying and seeking the Lord, I would say that was probably one of my closest times to Jesus. I'm going to go ahead and read the other question. The other question is, describe the best experience with your dad growing up. I would have to say the best experience I had was when my dad took us camping. Me and my brother were I was about 7 years of age, he was about 9, and I can remember we went hiking down the stream, found a little fishing spot. We ate canned raviolis. That always stood out in my mind. We probably ate that every day of that trip. And also, that I didn't spend a lot of time with my dad and doing things like that. And so, being there camping with him, just spending time with him, that was a big thing that stood out in my mind. I remember when we went camping, we hiked it seemed like at the time about 3 miles downstream. Of course, it always seems further when you're hiking back. But we found these cool pools of water that the water, I guess, over time dug these holes in the rock. It was really beautiful. We found this little fishing hole. We didn't catch anything. The fish were kind of timid in that fishing hole. Then we hiked back and we were so hungry after a long day of hiking and fishing and being out. I'm not sure if we brought anything to snack on, but we were starving. And a can of ravioli, hot can of raviolis, just sounded awesome. And then for 5 years after that trip, I love canned raviolis. And then just to wrap it up, I remember we did a lot of hiking. We hiked to other places. We talked to my dad a lot on that trip, and it was definitely one of the best experiences I've had with my dad. Third question is, how has having a child changed your life? That's a good question, because having a child has changed my life more than any other circumstance in my life, probably even including marriage, which was a huge change. One of the major changes is you're always on call, always working. And I know for my wife, she could say this even more, because I at least go to work and do some other things apart from taking care of our daughter. But still, when I come home, my daughter thrives for my attention. She wants her dada, and which is great, and we're close. I love it, but it definitely requires a whole different mindset than coming home and relaxing and having time for yourself and your wife, and my wife. And the second reason I would say it changes my life is, in a good way, is that it gives me more sense of purpose. Before having Hannah, took us 12 years to have Hannah, as I believe I told you in the Getting to Know Me speech, and it really has given me a sense of purpose and even more reason to live besides Christ and my wife. And that has really made a deep impression on my life, and I know why men with families out there work so hard to bring food to the table and make sure their child has a bright future. And that's how I feel about my daughter, and I feel it just spurs me on even more and motivates me. The third reason, the third way it's changed my life is another good way, and that's that I think I have more laughter and fun in my life because of the child. She's just so energetic and giddy, and she wants to play and laughs at things, and she has such a good sense of humor. It's really brightened my life as well. And for those three reasons, I would say having a child is the major reason, is the biggest thing, the biggest change in my life. And but I really love it, and it was a good change, and it's worth it. I thank you for tuning in and listening to my impromptu speech. Until my next speech, I will see you later. Bye.